FBI Director Christopher Wray testified before the House Judiciary Committee this week, presumably about the Bureau's investigation into the assassination attempt against former President Trump. Now, Wray's testimony revealed key new details about the would-be assassin, Thomas Crooks. While limited by the constraints of an ongoing investigation, Wray was a breath of fresh air and information, actually, compared to former Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle. And yet, there were still lawmakers, Republicans, who didn't miss the chance to change the subject and peddle the same old conspiracies and outrage against the FBI that they think somehow wins them points with the extreme in their party. We'll get to that, but first, here's what we learned from Wray's testimony about what the FBI has uncovered. Crooks Google searched, quote, how far away was Oswald from Kennedy just a week before he attempted to kill Trump, and the same day he registered to attend the rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, where Trump was set to speak. He visited the site of the rally 3 times, first on the day after the Google search, then twice on the day of the rally, including that afternoon, where he spent 11 minutes flying a drone over the area. He purchased about 50 rounds of ammo. The day of the rally, the FBI found 8 cartridges on the roof. He had crude explosives in his car that had the potential to be set off remotely. According to Wray, so far the FBI has been unable to uncover any firm information about whether Crooks was acting out of political ideology. And before you say, what else could it have been? Remember, John Hinckley was a nut who tried to kill President Reagan to impress an actress. But for some lawmakers, a hearing on the assassination attempt against a former president was viewed as an opportunity, right? An opportunity to peddle baseless conspiracy theories about January 6th and how it was some false flag operation perpetrated by the FBI. And that's when things got heated.
So did you have confidential human sources? I think you never answered that question on January 6th in the Capitol. Did you have some?
I'm sorry, what's the question?
Confidential human sources. Did you have them on January 6th in the Capitol?
Well, again, I'm never going to be getting into when and where we have or have not used confidential human sources. But
are you willing to stand the record that you had no confidential human sources that went into Capitol on January 6th?
As I've said consistently, I'm not going to get into where we have or have not used confidential human sources. I can tell you that if you are asking if the violence at the Capitol on January 6th was part of some operation orchestrated by FBI sources or agents, the answer is no.
No, I didn't ask you that. I asked, so did you investigate any confidential human sources? Did you do any investigation and looking at that? So you're not answering if you had any or not. So if you had potentially, did you do anything you needed to make sure to investigate that none of your sources did anything wrong? If they did wrong, they were prosecuted the same way, like you're trying to prosecute a lot of people that really, even in Supreme Court ruled recently that some unconstitutional charges.
Let me just add that there have now been, I think, 180 individuals who've gone to trial, in addition to the 850 who've pled guilty.
Right, but I think the problem is you put these charges, a lot of people would put guilty.
Wray has answered this question the same way countless times before Congress since January 6th. Republican Congressman Thomas Massie of Kentucky also wanted to talk about January 6th, though he too defaulted again to did the FBI have confidential informants there?
And now I want to talk about another possible assassination attempt. And I'll start by showing a video of President Biden. And this is from recently. This is in the last month, if we can play that.
Gallows erected to hang the Vice President, Mike Pence. I think it's fair to say it's one of the darkest days in the history of America.
Okay, and he's referring to January 6th. Were there gallows erected to hang Mike Pence, as the president says here?
I'm not aware of any physical gallows. I can't remember whether, from a demonstration perspective, there may not have been some kind of replica or symbol of something like that.
That's my impression. But if the president were correct that these gallows were erected to hang Mike Pence, that would be a very serious allegation, wouldn't it?
I would take it very seriously, yes.
Has anybody been arrested, or do you have any leads in conjunction with the erection of this gallows?
We have had, I think, 850 people who have pled guilty to federal crimes related to January 6th, and I think, another 180, I think it is, convicted at trials. I can't be sure.
And some of them merely for going into the Capitol, but here the president suggests that individual intended to hang Vice President Pence, which seems like kind of a wild claim myself, given the construction of those gallows. But if we are to take him seriously, or even if we aren't, let me just finish by saying this. If you have no leads, or you're not sure if anybody who erected those gallows was arrested or is being investigated, were there any confidential human sources involved from the FBI or any other agency in the erection of that prop, those gallows?
I'm not aware of anything like that.
And Ray's right. If you're going to keep asking the same questions, at least come with some new facts, some new information. Look, while the FBI has become a favorite target of Republicans when particular Democrats are investigated or charged, and there have been a lot in the past few years, many of them claim it's all political. The Democrats do. That, too, is sad and infuriating. But constantly derailing hearings with the FBI directors trying to get to the bottom of the security failures that led to the former president being shot with conspiracies and sideshows is just political jockeying at its worst. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.